What's good, people? Welcome to day 5. We're almost there of waiting for No Man's Sky, and today I just watched Suicide Squad, just like everybody else has, and I'm making a review, just like everybody else is making a review. And the way I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna review the movie, and then towards the end, I'm gonna do a short little spoiler section, and just talk about some things that affected the movie. You're warned now, so just after I rate it, I'm going to spoilers, so just watch out for that. So let's start off. Start with the characters. All the characters are pretty good for the most part. Will Smith as Deadshot, he was fun. He got a lot of charisma, as Will Smith does. He was pretty funny, and he brought a lot to the roles. And Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn was perfect. Some pretty good casting. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knew that. She's also hilarious. She had the voice right, the Harley voice. She didn't really she's kind of like a little bit too much like an act. Like she was fighting a lot in the movie. That's one thing I didn't understand. But I mean, that's not really such a bad part. But overall, she's a good character. Who else to talk about? Jai Courtney. If you know who Jai Courtney is, he's that one guy you see in every movie, and you're always like, who's that one guy? Like he was in Terminator Genesis, the Divergent movies, even Jack Reacher. He's been in a lot of movies. A lot of people don't like him because he's kind of a crappy actor, but surprisingly, he did a good job here. I think he does a pretty good job when he plays a criminal. I mean, because watching him in Jack Reacher, he plays like a cold, heartless, criminal, and here he plays a funny, sarcastic, wise ass, Australian criminal. So I think he should just stick to criminals. That seems to be his thing. Good job. It's Captain Boomerang. That was his character. Kind of I don't know, weird power, I guess. Boomerang. It kind of worked. I mean, he's sharpened up, but that's about it. Who else do we have? There's one character called Rick Flag. He's played by the guy who played the RoboCop from the reboot. You know what I'm talking about. He was pretty good too. He was I thought he was just gonna be some generic army guy. No, he's not. He's a pretty funny guy. I'm not going to say he's funny, but he's like authoritative. He has power over all these people. He interacts well with them, and he did a good job. And I'm trying to remember all the characters. I'm trying to go through each one of them. Slipknot, if anybody knows, is a good band. And also, he's a character in the movie. And I'm gonna describe his character with one word: pointless. I'll explain that later. His powers is he could climb well. By the way, that's literally the explanation. I mean, they say like, "Oh, Harley Quinn, she's crazy, but she get in your mind. Deadshot never misses. El Diablo can shoot fire out his hands. Slipknot climbs well. He can climb anything, and that's about it." Let's move on to El Diablo, the only Mexican in the cast, I assume. He did a good job too. He wasn't really main focus. Like he had the background characters. You got the main three, the Jared Leto, Will Smith, and Margot Robbie. Everybody cares about them, but everybody else is kind of like, they're not in the main. They're just on the sideline, And he was a pretty good character too. He has a few funny lines, good backstory, and overall good job. Who else? The Enchantress, that one weird-looking witch. I want to say something about her, but that kind of might spoil things. So just stay tuned for spoilers, because just there's some things. That might be a spoiler just by saying it, but not really. Who else? Katana, the girl with the mask and who wields a katana. One word for her, underused. Sadly, she was barely in the movie. She had a few lines. She was there, but I didn't feel she got enough screen time. She was a pretty cool character. I would like to see more of her. And Killer Croc. Killer Croc was pretty killer. He was a pretty funny character. Again, another sideline character. He didn't have as much lines, but when he did, they were pretty funny. The makeup was good. I gotta give them credit for that. Instead of going CGI, they went full on makeup. That needs to be commended because in this day and age, just CG everything. And that about covers it for this entire squad. Now I'll move on to a character. Before that, Amanda Waller, Viola Davis, she did a good job too. She had like a, like a certain sort of sense of power to her, authority. You believe that she could, control these people, and she does. But you wouldn't want to fuck with her, and and she did a good job too. Basically, almost everybody did a good job in the entire Suicide Squad cast, and the entire squad itself. And this is just the person leading them. I need to talk about one person though that is kind of iffy on me. Jared Leto as the Joker. I'm kind of on the fence with this, sort of at the same time. I don't know. The problem with me is he portrayed the Joker well, but the look of the I'll be honest, I didn't like the look of the Joker in this movie. I mean, he looks goofy. He looks like he's trying way too hard. It seems just like the way the Joker looks now looks like early concept art, of what it should have been. I do not like it. I do not like the stupid teeth. I know they say, oh, it's because he's been fighting Batman for so long that Batman knocked his teeth out and he has to get replacements. I get the explanation, but I just don't like the teeth. It looks silly. Like when he's laughing, I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like the hair. It looks ridiculous. I just don't like it. And to me, the Joker doesn't really care. Like throughout the movie, he's all dressing up in fine tuxedos. He's looking all fancy and shit, wearing long leather jackets and long coats, and he has a bunch of rings and watches and chains. The fucking tattoos. That's not what the Joker is about. I feel like Leto confused something about the Joker. He portrayed him perfectly. Like he got him right. He was actually menacing, scary at times. Like everything you believe from the reports and everything about what's going on behind the cameras was pretty true. He played a pretty good Joker. I'm not gonna lie, but I can't get past the costume, guys. It is ridiculous. He looks, to me, he looks like a wannabe Armenian gangster half the time. That's just, I don't know. That's just what I think. The Joker does not care about the Joker wouldn't put on rings, walk around with a fancy ass cane with I'll admit the Joker did wear a purple suit at times. That's kind of his thing. But that's not as fancy as he goes. Just a purple suit, and that's it. You don't see Heath Ledger's Joker wearing a top hat, with some chains around, wearing a fancy gold watch. No, you wouldn't see that. That's not what the Joker's about. You won't see him tattooing his face. I feel like Jared Leto thought, oh, because the Joker's crazy, he's gonna, be crazy. He's eccentric. Not really. Any other Joker you've seen before always just sticks to the suit. Just keep the suit. Even then, he wore a suit. He wore purple clothing, but he didn't wear a purple suit. As far as I know. He wore a tuxedo, but it was black. I don't even know. So yeah, he's kind of on the fence for me. Good portrayal, bad character design. I didn't like it. And he also, the laugh was kind of too he never really did the good Joker laugh, the classic one. I can't really do it. The entire movie, he just kind of did the kind of like the. He did a half-hearted Joker laugh, and it's half-hearted, I gotta say it, and I just didn't like it that much. So now I'm done with the characters, the entire cast. Let's move on to, what's good and bad about the movie. The movie, it has good style, I'll tell you that. The way they introduce the characters and everything, and even the credits, I like the whole style. You remember how they said that there were reshoots? You watch the first trailer of the movie, and it's kind of like a serious movie. It's I won't say serious, but it's darker tone, And then DC, kind of freaked things like, let's do some reshoots, make it funnier. And then they got super colorful. The first title was super normal, and then the last one was colorful and bright. I don't know why they did that. I mean, probably just for more appeal, like. And I mean, that's the reason why it even says on the title, I put like a subpar version of Guardians of the Galaxy, because this seems like DC's Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, I should probably talk about that a little bit too, about why. Because Guardians of the Galaxy had, like, a group of, weirdos having to get together reluctantly. They bond together towards the end. They had a good soundtrack. Both movies actually share one song they're both in the same movie. So was that their intent? Because both movie soundtracks are pretty cool, I'll admit. You had Hooked on a Feeling and Guardians of the Galaxy, and you have I can't even think of one. I think that one Queen song. Queen. I don't know. I think soundtrack with Queen is gonna be pretty good. But I feel like they're just trying to copy what Marvel did with Guardians of the Galaxy. To some extent, they kind of did, but on others, they didn't. I mean, you have much more characters, but some of them are just kind of the same. So that's kind of one thing that kind of had me noticing. I was like, this kind of seems like a watered down Guardians of the Galaxy, but it wasn't too bad either. I mean, I still liked the movie. That's just one complaint I kind of had. Again, the soundtrack was good. The movie was overall pretty fun. Had a good feel to it. Like, it wasn't too dark. It wasn't DC. It was being too dark, and it had a lighthearted. It showed that's what Batman Superman should have been like, and it wasn't. So what are you gonna do? There's one thing I do gotta say. The movie does feel kind of rushed. Like, honestly, the movie felt kind of short to me. I think it might have been an hour and a half, hour 40. I don't even remember, but the movie felt really rushed to me. I mean, the beginning, they introduced the characters. They introduced, this is Deadshot. Background, his origin story. This Harley Quinn origin story. This is that other guy, short origin story. These other people, and you get, he climbs well. That's about it. Like, a lot of characters were just, I mean, again, the main cast, the main 3 people, they were like, hey, give them, backstories. And everybody else, just give them, like, little descriptions. Like, they film these whole things for, like, the main people, and then they just, for everybody else, like, the ones that, are on the back of the poster, Will Smith is always front and center. Everybody else just, just an example, like, if it was like, Peter Quill from Guardians of the Galaxy, he is like a half alien, I want to say, or he's like a Ravager. He's a Ravager. He's kind of like a fun space pilot. Rocket Raccoon, he's, what was he? They kind of touched on it barely in the movie. While they're saying, Peter Quill, he's a cool space pilot and everything. Gave him his backstory that his mom died and he was kidnapped by aliens. Rocket Raccoon just barely says, you never been, had surgery on it. And like, that's the one bit of backstory that they kind of had to add. Groot, no one knows about Groot, but that's fair because they don't really explain that much in comics. Drax gets backstory, Gamora barely, and that's kind of it. But again, they had a smaller cast. With the cast this big, some of them I got the short end of the stick, and I'll explain that a little bit later. So overall, the whole movie was just rushing the main people, showing their origins, introducing you to these characters, and then introducing you to the villain, and then just like pushing them to saying, okay, here's the villains, and just go get them. Just go get them, kids. And that just felt kind of rushed to me. To me, the movie felt pretty short because of that. Like, it's just, okay, characters, origins, villain, go get them, ending, climax, that's it. I gotta say that's the one downside, and you can't really sacrifice. I know they can't give everybody, the entire origin story, but you gotta at least try a little bit harder. So that's one downside. And yeah, I think that's about it. Overall, I have to say that the movie was enjoyable. I did enjoy it. There were parts of it that weren't bad. I don't know what the fuck the critics are going on about. It seems like critics just hate DC movies. I don't know. I'm pretty sure after Batman Superman, DC's movies are probably condemned to be shitty. Look at Rotten Tomatoes. It's just killing it. And I'm going to tell you right now, the critics are wrong. The same case with Batman Superman. I said the same thing. The movie has problems. I definitely go. I still say go watch it because it's a good movie. It was enjoyable. It had problems. I still watch it. This movie has less problems, but I mean, in my opinion, there's some things I didn't like. But I still recommend it. It's a lot more fun, lighthearted. I still say go watch it. I'm gonna give this movie a 7 out of 10 because a few of the story, the feeling kind of rushed. No backstories for some characters. I mean, and just kind of having a copy feel of Guardians of the Galaxy. But if you're copying if you're copying off one of the best Marvel movies ever, says right there in my poster. If you're copying off the smartest kid in class and you get a few wrong, and I mean, is that really so bad? I mean, it's still a good movie. If you try to do Guardians of the Galaxy, DC tried to do Guardians of the Galaxy, I can't blame them, but they didn't do as good. Guardians of the Galaxy got like around a B. Say he's a smart kid, he got a A. Suicide Squad got a B minus. That's kind of similar things. Still though, 7 out of 10. I still say go watch it. I recommend it. Oh yeah, Batman's in the movie. Only reason I wore the shirt. He's in the movie for Grand Total Love. 3 minutes. I don't know. I was gonna say 5 minutes. He's in the movie. Yeah, Ben Affleck's in the movie, so there's just that. And oh yeah, also there's a mid-credit scene. Stay tuned for that. So just yeah. Oh, sorry, I had a little interruption, but yeah, Ben Affleck's in the movie after credit scene, mid-credit scene actually, just only one. Seems like they're actually trying to do Marvel now, so there's that. But yeah, go watch the movie. 7 out of 10. Recommend it. Go out and see it. Don't listen to the critics. I saw a funny picture. You know who was the greatest villain of the Marvel Universe? Thanos. You know who was the greatest villain of the DC Universe? Rotten Tomatoes. It's pretty true. But still, just go watch it. And there's the review. And now for the spoilers, okay? Spoilers, last final warning, spoilers. Batman's parents die, Superman was really a woman, and Wonder Woman Tiara was fake. Just spoilers, okay? Just final warning. Alright, ready, set, go. Batman's parents are actually dead. No, just kidding. Let's start off with the villain. The villain is the motherfucking Enchantress. I mean, come on. And I didn't really like that much because, again, she was one of the sideline characters. So I like that they didn't spoil it in the trailers. I mean, all we knew it was a black mask. It could have been Venom for all we knew. But I like that they didn't spoil it. But for it to be the Enchantress, I mean, it seemed kind of a little bit. I don't like it that much because it seemed kind of ridiculous at the same time because, I mean, she was supposed to be in the Suicide Squad. She was never in the Suicide Squad. She was supposed to be in the, I guess she was supposed to be in it, but then she wasn't because she flipped. I don't know. I didn't like it. She releases her brother. The Enchantress releases her brother, and then he becomes the villain technically, but she's the villain because she's. It's kind of ridiculous. That was one thing I didn't like about the movie. I just couldn't bring it up, but I just did not like it. Another thing, why Slipknot? Why is he so useless? Because he's one of the characters who does not get a fucking storyline. And seriously, I mean, they introduce everybody else, and I mean, he does better than Katana. I'll explain why. But Slipknot, he literally say, "Oh, Slipknot, he climbs well," and he does one thing. He hits a cop when he's getting out the car, and as soon as they get to the city, he's talking to Captain Boomerang. He's like, "Hey, yo, man, you want to escape? Yeah, I'll follow you, man." And he escapes, and then he flies up, and then there's like, "Just fuck you, man. I warned you." He blows up. He dies immediately, like barely any lines. That's why I got so mad because. I mean, I guess I get it. They didn't want to spoil, they want to say, oh, because Slipknot, he had to tie a bunch of ropes when he was a kid. And he does nothing but knots because he failed to tie a knot correctly and his dad fell off the cliff. I don't fucking know. I understand why they didn't give him backstories, but to kill him so... And I get it, you gotta have somebody to kind of die and give it a little bit of shock. But it came out of nowhere really quickly, and since he wasn't introduced, we didn't care. I mean, if they had killed like someone like Harley Quinn, they would be like, well, what the fuck? But since he's Slipknot and no one cares, and he climbs well, that's the only thing he does. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. The Flash is in the movie for literally a flash. He shows up like that, says one line. I don't know. It's literally out of nowhere. I mean, Captain Boomerang's out of the bank and he pops out. He's like, catchphrase or something, and then that's it. He was in full costume, and I was like, they flew in the guy. I guess they flew in the Flash just for that. He was barely in that. And then we talk about the mid-credit scene too. Bruce Wayne's talking to Amanda Waller, and he's like, "Oh, why are you spying on his people? You see papers on the Enchantress, Flash, and Aquaman." He's like, "Oh, I'm making a team," and then she's all like, "Whoa, you better start working at night." He's like, "You know I'm Batman," and that's about it. And again, those kind of things. Just really, the Enchantress thing was kind of a big turn off for me. I didn't like that one bit, but I just kind of want to talk about those things. Not really affect the score that much, but kind of. So yeah, that's about it. Stay tuned for this, I guess. Thanks for watching. It's day 5. Went by a little bit better. Got to watch a good movie. That was pretty fun. Tomorrow, stay tuned for tomorrow, and catch y'all later.